2 words. Loyola Chicago. The year of the upset. 11 seed in the Final Four.
They're fucking dude. They haven't really played anybody overly impressive, but they've been winning.
But
games.
they got some stupid good shooters.
Yeah, they got stupid good shooters, but I think they'll get stopped real quick against Michigan.
You don't think they're going to be Michigan?
I think I'm glad for them that they made the Final Four, but I don't think they're making it past.
So on the first ever Two Real Buds Final Four edition, you are not picking the Cinderella.
Hell no. Hell no, not against Michigan. It's going to be Michigan and fucking
Villanova.
Yeah, Nova. And Nova's going to beat the shit out of them.
All right, so let's start off by breaking. We'll break down the first game. We got Michigan versus Loyola Chicago. So
before we get started, I got one question for you. Why the fuck you hating on Johnny Manziel?
Why the fuck?
I need to know. Like, why do you hate him so much?
He's not for the brand, bro.
What's wrong with him? I'm just confused. Like, I think he's at least a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback, but he's over talked about.
How is he over talked about? Because he played for the Browns.
What's this have to do with NCAA basketball,
man,
bro?
I just want to know.
We'll talk about this after we after we go live on YouTube. I'll let you know. But this is content for a whole different episode. We'll talk about that. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Loyola Chicago versus Michigan score prediction.
I'm going to go 80-72 Michigan.
So you're going to give it an 8-point spread.
Okay, sure.
So Kansas, Villanova.
What? I think that'll be a pretty good game.
76-72, I'm calling it.
I'm going to go 73-76.
Of course you are.
I want a 3-point
Because fuck my predictions, right? So
no, I think you're dead on.
So that puts...
I think it'll be a little closer.
And for the... Because
I think it might be a buzzer beater or some bullshit in overtime.
For the Michigan game, Michigan, Loyola, Chicago, I'm going to make it a low-scoring game. I'm going to go 57-62 Michigan.
5 points. Okay, yeah.
And then for the national championship game, we'll have Michigan and Villanova. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna pick the 3 seed. I think Michigan's going to beat them probably 65-61.
I think you're crazy. I think Nova's going to win by...
You can call me crazy, but this has been the year of the upset, brother.
I guess, but Nova's really good. Nova has shooters. They can play defense. They can play with anybody and just beat you. They're really good.
All around, they're probably, I would still say, even whether they win the national championship or not, they are the best team in the NCAA. And that's why, like, us Duke fans were like, oh, yeah, we got screwed out of the Kansas game because of the charge, blah, 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 blah. Well, dude, it's not like we were going to go beat Villanova anyway. We would honestly got trashed in that game. It would have been embarrassing. Yeah, we would have a Final Four appearance. And, yeah, we went one more step, better than Carolina and Kentucky. But fuck those two. Who even wants to talk about Kentucky and North Carolina?
Dude, I really thought Kentucky had it in them to win. If not Duke. I really thought Kentucky had it. Like, this was how, like, they got hot at the right time, and they almost carried it all the way.
Now, I will say the Duke defense, they really got pretty well in the tournament. Got a lot better than what a lot of people originally thought. The zone,
they definitely,
the zone worked better than what I thought.
Dude, I thought the zone was perfect for them. Just because of the way their guards work. They're not good at getting inside, but you have 2 bigs. I thought it was perfect for their team.
But the zone is not better than the man-on-man. Or the man-to-man.
I like their zone. I thought it was pretty hot. Like, for that team, like, at that talent level, like, at each position, it was smart for them.
There was somebody in a Duke group that I'm in on Facebook that was like, we will not win a natty with 4 freshmen. Okay, but we can win a natty with 3 fucking freshmen in 2015, right?
I don't know. Coach K always, he's good when he has a leader on the team. But when he doesn't have that, his teams usually don't get that far. Like, I didn't. Like, his last 3 Final Fours, he always had one good leader. You know what I mean?
Right. So, you got Villanova cutting down the nets, and I got Michigan.
Yeah. So, at least we have the same game going on.
Yeah. Make it interesting that we're kind of different. So, since it's the Final Four edition of the Two Real Buds podcast, we're going to break down we're going to list our 5 top upsets, starting with 5, working our way down to 1. And this is a list that we already had made that we've already come to consensus on. And so at 5, we got Middle Tennessee State versus MSU. A 2 seed beating a 15 seed and taking down Denzel Valentine and Castillo in a tournament game. So, yeah, that definitely had to crack the list. And this is a disclaimer. All these upsets of recent time. It's like 05 up to now. At 4, we got VCU and Kansas. Shaka Smart leads the Virginia Commonwealth University to, what was it, their first or second Final Four appearance?
I want to say it was their second.
Their second?
Ever, yeah. Or it was their first. VCU Final Four appearances?
And then at 3, we got Duke. We got a tie between Duke and Lehigh and Duke and Mercer.
Just to pair them together, that was such a horrible year as a Duke fan. Like, those are, like, 3 pretty bad years.
Mercer out, like, not again. And then, man, I still can't believe that Middle Tennessee State, going back to 5, beat a Michigan State team that Castillo put up 22 or 23 points.
No, yeah, they just, I guess the defense didn't show up for Michigan State. That's such a good coach, too.
I don't even think it was that. I just think they just got outshot. Push comes to shove, you got shot. They got the ball in the bucket more. I mean, yeah, logical. That's how the game of basketball works. But I mean, they had a higher field goal percentage. And then going back up to our list at number 2, we got the Butler Bulldogs taking down Michigan State to go to the 2010 national championship game.
They get fucking trashed.
They didn't get trashed.
Who'd they play that year?
In the national championship game?
Yeah.
Dude, they lost to Duke by 3 millimeters.
Was that
the Gordon
2010?
Hayward shot was in 2010, and Sports Science broke that motherfucker down, and he missed that half-court heave by 3 millimeters, which is fucking like that.
No, I mean, I remember that game. I didn't think that was 2010.
It was 2010. And then at number 1, of course, we got the most recent.
The thing that's never been done before.
The thing that's never been done. We got, was it UNC? UMBC.
UMBC. University of
Maryland and Baltimore. Taking down the Cavaliers here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Their point guard Lyles, just everything he put up just sunk.
Deuce.
Just everything. Dude.
Swish.
He was lighting it up. They had one guy whose dad literally had a giant fat head of his kid, like just a giant face for a poster for them. I forget his name, but he was their point guard. Like, they were just lighting it up, dude, the whole time, and UVA couldn't catch a break. They were just throwing up shots, and they just weren't falling. It was crazy. I remember watching it. That was a savage game.
And then it was the next round. We got to see Carolina practically get home court advantage and get thrashed by Texas Tech. This has just been the year of the upset.
For sure. I think there's been more upsets this year, and I don't know whether or not it's good, like, for basketball and the NCAA.
I think it's fucking great. I'm completely opposite. I think it's fucking great because
I think it caters to the fans and, like, people gambling, but I don't think it really I don't think it benefits, like, casual fans. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's, like, good for
Why not? It's something to talk about. If UMBC didn't fucking beat Virginia,
but a casual fan doesn't even know about these dudes, and they're just like, like, they wouldn't watch. You know what I mean?
In a crazy way, everybody hates when their bracket gets busted. I hate when mine gets busted, but I think it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, I think it's great, and that's why I only make one that I just don't give a shit about. I kind of just, it gets lost in all my bullshit, and I'm like, oh.
Who'd you have in the Final Four this year?
It was like 4 number 4 seeds that all got blew up in the first 2 rounds, like Gonzaga, Arizona.
I had Xavier, who got upsetted by Florida State. Duke, who got beat by number 1. That's not an upset. Virginia, upset. No, I didn't have Virginia. I took them out of my Final Four. I had Villanova, Arizona.
Purdue got upset.
Arizona got upset by Buffalo.
Gonzaga got upset really early.
They lost to Florida State, right?
They might have. Yeah, somebody like that.
Florida State had a good run. Kansas State had a good run. There was a lot of below 5 seed teams that had a really, really, really hot run.
Nevada won.
Nevada was a 9.
Like that. Who else? Like there was a lot of upsets this year, and I remember I would just look at the spread and be like, nah, it's not going to be that close, or nah, it's not going to be that much like dominance. But nah, it was crazy this year.
So other than the UMBC upset over Virginia, what was your second favorite upset?
This year, probably. Damn, I really can't tell you. Oh, Xavier losing was big. I really like that one.
And honestly, Florida State played some of the probably the best last 2 minutes of basketball I've seen all tournament. Man, they hit that 3 and then their defense was just like nope. Yep, I'm gonna put this in the basket and we're not letting it. I'm just gonna bust some more brackets. Honestly, if I had to give between F- and A+ grade to this tournament, and I know it's hard to grade because we haven't played the semifinals and the national championship game yet, I would still probably, as of right now, give this tournament a solid A-. I honestly, all the upsets, it was something different. It was great. It really opened my eyes as a sports fan to some of the like UMBC. I never heard of them. I've heard of Loyola. They've actually been to a Final Four before. So it was good to see some teams that don't normally beat high seeds, and then a Final Four. Going back to what we're talking about how the upset might be bad to the common fan. I still think you expect 1, 2, and you expect a 1 seed or a 2 seed or a 3 seed or a 4 seed, between that number to be in a Final Four, at least one. So it's when you have like all 1 seeds or all 2 seeds or a little bit of both. I mean, we have just top 4. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, same as last year. Same old message. But when you have like, when we looked at the Elite Eight, we were either going to have a 9 seed or 11 seed in the Final Four, and it's like, god damn, man, like, who can predict this shit? And there's one person who, as of right now on the CBS Sports Bracket Challenge, that has a perfect bracket.
There's one person?
One person out of like 50 million people that filled out a fucking bracket.
I didn't think there'd be anybody left.
There's one.
Jesus.
And he's probably 2 games away from being not.
Who does he have winning?
Not having. I didn't look. I just read an article where there is one. I got a notification on my CBS Sports Bracket Challenge app that said there's one bracket remaining, but he's probably 2 games away from probably being strikingly rich. If he has money on it. Don't bet on college games.
Fucking bet on everything.
Bet on everything. Just put all your...
If you could organize rabbits to run in a straight line, bet on that.
My best bracket was in 2015. I only had... Out of the whole bracket, I only lost 4 games. I had 3 out of the 4 in the Final Four, and I picked the national champion. Which were, of course...
Blue Devils.
The Duke University Blue Devils. That was a good team, too. Tyus Jones, Jahlil Okafor, Quinn Cook, Mill, Justice.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid team, and everybody just turned it up at the perfect time. Like, Titus got hot at the very end of the season, just carried it all the way. Jahlil was hot all season, even though wasn't he hurt a little bit?
Who?
Jahlil Okafor that year.
Yeah, he had, like, I think it was elbow problems that year, and he just came in and just rebounded like fuck. He just got all these putbacks. But if I had to pick an MVP, well, Tyus was the MVP of that game. He would just, like, slowly dribble the ball at the top of the key and be covered by 2 guys and just set his feet, and then that boy can jump on his fucking release, man, and the ball's going up and just hit the back of the iron, and it's nicest 3-pointers I've ever seen in a clutch time. And he quickly extended a 3-point lead out to an 8-point lead with like $1:30 left. He hit 2 threes back to back. That was like full fucking send. fucking no. We're taking this goddamn. There ain't gonna be no chance for upset in the final minute. We're gonna give our fans, what they deserve. We're gonna make them comfortable for the last minute and a half of this goddamn national championship game. And Wisconsin was up 10 in that game, and midway through the second half, and then Grayson Allen got a 3-point play, and then it was just we ran from there. It was But yeah, back to the 2018 Final Four in San Antonio. I firmly, as much as I picked Michigan, but if I'm wrong, I hope it's Loyola raising that fucking trophy at the end of the year. As much as it's probably not going to happen.
Oh no, I mean I'm rooting for them. Like I'm going to be actively rooting for Loyola, but I don't think they'll even come close in this game. Like I definitely think Michigan's just going to outscore the shit out of them.
But if anybody's going to prove us wrong, it's going to be them.
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean, man. What a great face for a program, too. A nun.
No, yeah. I heard about her, and I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Like, a nun?
A nun that just... She's a good luck charm, man. As much as I'm skeptical in religion and all that, I firmly believe she's a good luck charm. Because, you never want to upset an old lady.
I mean, honestly, at this point, hey, they're in the Final Four. That's a pretty big deal anyway. Good job, dudes.
And Loyola hasn't been in the Final Four since 1963, and they were the first university ever to put 5 black players on the floor at one time. Because back in those days, you can only have 2 black players on the court at one time. So they broke a barrier. They won a national they got a national championship. That's one more than a lot of schools have. So are they really an underdog this year? Yes, but they still got a banner, so you still got to give them that.
I guess I don't see Michigan lying down to them. I kind of just see them saying hey, we're gonna step on your throat and just walk into the national title game, and you guys are fodder at this point. Good run though.
Yeah. So before we go ahead and wrap this one up, I got a question. Real quick, what was that fucking Disney Pixar?
Okay, so I have to.
That's gonna be on screen for you guys.
Blasphemy has been.
We're gonna break down that bracket before we wrap this one up.
And can you pull up a picture of that? I need to look at. This is stupid.
There'll be one on the video for you guys to look at, but So
there is a bracket, a March Madness-esque bracket of OG and newer generation Disney Pixar movies. So on this bracket is Lion King against Tarzan. What is this? Princess and the Frog and Lilo and Stitch. We have
Who do they have winning that one?
Princess and the Frog, Lilo and Stitch.
I was about to
Lilo
say
and Stitch can't lose.
The one that pissed me off the most was Tangled beating the fucking Lion King.
In this region, we end with Tangled and Big Hero 6, which is a Marvel movie, actually, I think. Frozen and Moana. Yeah. So Moana beats Frozen, Tangled beats Big Hero 6, Lilo and Stitch wins, and then Lion King beats Tarzan. So finishing out is Lion King and Tangled. And somehow Tangled defeats the Lion King. Explain this to me. How the fuck?
I can't explain it to you because it's so fucking stupid.
This should have beat everybody. This should have been against Monsters Inc. and Lion King.
What do we call the Generation X? Yeah, somebody from Generation X made that goddamn bracket.
Somehow Mulan made it all the way out of their bracket against.
How did Cars do?
Cars?
They had 2 movies in that tournament.
Yeah, Cars has 2 movies and Toy Story has 3. Toy Story 2 beat Cars out. Or no. What the fuck? They lost to Monsters Inc., who ends up winning it all.
Monsters Inc.?
I can see why somebody would do that. I really like Monsters Inc., dude. I still watch that shit to this day.
Monsters Inc. is a great movie. They're a Final Four, but I can see The Incredibles being in the championship against Lion King.
Apparently Monsters Inc. beat Toy Story 2, and I don't agree with that either. I don't have a problem with it, but I really don't agree with that.
If I had to pick a quote unquote championship game, it would probably be Incredibles versus Lion King, and Lion King takes it all.
See, I see the Incredibles making a Final Four. I see them losing to Toy Story 1 or 2 because I think they're both phenomenal.
Yeah.
Toy Story 2 is my favorite, but
If I had to pick an underdog, probably Cars.
Lilo and Stitch.
Cars 1
I
was
would
pretty
have
good.
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo
and
Stitch
Lion
was
King.
pretty
That
solid.
would be my championship game. Lilo and Stitch or Finding Nemo. Nemo
Finding
didn't
Nemo.
even make it far.
What about Finding? Did they put Finding Dory in that fucking tournament?
Hell no. They had. Yo, explain this also. Crazy shit. Finding Nemo against Inside Out. Inside Out upset. Have you even heard of this movie?
No.
What the fuck's Inside Out? What the? And then it loses to Bug's Life, which is okay.
I hope whoever made that bracket's not allowed to fucking post on social media ever again. That's pure
Or
cancer.
reproduce.
That's pure cancer.
At least, okay, so Upbeat Brave, which, whatever. I actually liked Up. That was like probably the last one I've seen in theaters. But I've seen a good majority of these movies, and this is pretty upsetting. The Little Mermaid and Hercules. Pocahontas didn't even make it out the first round. This list is.
It's cancerous, man.
This-
It's trash.
This is
That's
the
worse than
shittiest-
Tinder right there.
Literally the shittiest bracket I've ever seen in my life. Some people just shouldn't be allowed to reproduce, and whoever made this bracket is high on this list.
There's just some people that just doesn't need to be, that should not have access to social media. I feel like you should have to fill out an application to get on social media. But I guess
I feel like there should be like somebody somewhere like you make a bracket like this and you're on a list like, okay, this person just needs to die.
that's
today.
just David
And
Hogg
you just
stupid.
assassinate him. Bam.
That's
right there.
that's just David Hogg stupid right there. That's fucking purely fucking cancerous.
2,000 kids just they need to go. They need to go, dude. They're eating Tide Pods. They're bitching about how they think that democracy needs to run. They just need to die now. Like they're. Oh, you guys are ruining democracy. No, get the fuck out of here, dude.
We're a republic, fucking. But anyway, to not get off topic, is before we wrap this up, man, is there anything you want to add to this year's Final Four, this year's tournament, or that piece of shit?
Quit eating Tide Pods and you won't sound as stupid. Go Loyola Chicago, even though I don't even predict you getting out of the Final Four. And like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Share.
Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. You know that goes a long way. That gets us more views and gets us out there. And so, thank everybody for tuning in. This is Two Robots Podcast, and we are out.